Welcome to Pothead Parent, where we're not only packing lunches, but packing bowls. Just a mom and dad, maybe some of their cannabis-loving friends, sharing the ups and downs of parenting while being so much fucking more thanks to Mary Jane. Not sure what all that means? Neither do we. So let's grab your favorite piece and let's see what happens.
So we have our brand new friend, not brand new, about 60, 90 days old, Danny Caballero. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, it's Caballero, but everybody just says Cab.
The thing in him is like...
Whatever you want to call it. But,
yeah, it's in the military. It's like, whatever, dude.
Yeah,
you find what it can become a nickname and you go with it.
Yeah, just like, hey, fuck nuts. That's just his podcast is called Security Halt. And this is, we met them at the MIC conference, which is the Military Influencers Conference. And we literally sat right across from each other and fucked off the whole time, which was great. We were meant to be, so we created a very good relationship. So we wanted to bring Denny on to talk about their podcast, what they do, who they are, how they're helping the veteran community, and really how mental health between men and all veterans, whether they're women or men, needs to be talked about. Like, this is a serious fucking problem. It used to be 22 a day. Now it's 44 a day, and no one really seems to give a shit. So, but I'll stop talking and let you just kind of introduce yourself, like who you guys are, what you do, and go from there.
Yeah. First off, thank you for having me on your show, guys. I'm Danny Caballero from Security Halt Podcast. And I think we're the first of our kind. We're a mental health podcast, but we lure you in with like the 80% jokes, the military jokes, and then we slide that mental health piece in there because it's hard to talk about mental health, not only as men, but as service members as a whole. So men and women, especially if we serve together, it's hard to get us to open up and admit that, like, hey, there's something wrong up here. Yeah. We tend to think that it's just our fight. It's just us internally dealing with all this conflict. But the reality is, behind us, there's a wife, there are kids, caregivers, and we don't really see it when we're in the middle of it. But everything that we have and we're struggling with is affecting our family. So after I went through my final downward spiral and had to go into inpatient treatment and then into intensive outpatient treatment, I realized that, I was struggling to find somebody that could pull me in, that was wearing the same uniform, wearing the same green beret, and say, hey, brother, you're not alone. It's okay to tap out. It's okay to go get help, because the reality is, the sooner we get you squared away, the sooner we address your issues, the sooner we can get you back on the team, the sooner we can have you back operational. And for a lot of us, I was struggling with this for years. It just so happened that finally the last straw was the last deployment, and everything just fell apart. And I was blessed that when I finally started getting help and had gotten a real good understanding of my tools, the things, all the modalities that I needed, I was able to take that and directly give it to some of my teammates who are also co-hosts on the show. So Eric and David, those are guys that I served in Afghanistan with. And then Greg and Paul, we had 2 deployments in Iraq back when they were, the long 15-monthers, the year-long deployments. And what worked for us before I got help was that tech support, that, hey, I'm not doing so good. Are you guys doing so good? No, we're all struggling. So even though we weren't getting help yet, we still had people we could turn to. And it was beneficial, but at some point we all have to go get help. And that's what Security Halt really is. It's a peer-to-peer support network and a podcast all in one, because we want to lure you in with the hilarious content. We want to lure you in with some of the great stories and special guests we have. But we really hope that you tune in and drop in on some of our Thursday night peer-to-peer support groups on Zoom. And then eventually you build up that courage, build up that confidence in saying, you know what? If Denny, Greg, Paul, Ryan, and Eric and Mike and all these guys can go get help, then I can too. Because not only do I deserve it, but my wife, my kids, my mother, my father, they deserve it too. They deserve the best version of me coming back home.
Now, well, how long ago did you start? How long ago did this podcast start?
So we started with our endeavor about almost 3 years now. We're almost at 3 year mark.
Shit.
So we were, at first it was just like, hey, we have this support thing. Let's try to get it out there so everybody can feel it. And then as I got worse and realized that I needed help, I was like, okay, like I can't do this on my own, because we inherently, we want to think that we can fight through and just put on the mask of like, I'm doing this. I'm going to be able to do this on my own. This is an enemy that none of us can tackle on our own. You can white knuckle sobriety. You can white knuckles a lot of things in life. And my hat's off to you if you can make it on your own. But the truth is, and the reason why so many of us fail is because we don't reach out for help. We fail to see the human connection on the other side of that desk when we're talking to our therapy or our counselor, our therapist or counselor, and we fail to see them as human beings that desperately want to connect with us. And we want to put on that rough exterior of like, you don't know what it's like. Reality is, a lot of people that choose to be a therapist, that choose to be counselors, they went into that line of work because they themselves have dealt with trauma. There might not be survivors of PTSD. There might not be survivors of war, but there are also survivors of other stuff. And that's a remarkable connection to have. Somebody that wants to help you heal and overcome. And it's like I say in a lot of my previous podcasts, it's a matter of finding the right person, finding the right chemistry, and peer-to-peer support is desperately needed. Right now we're in a crisis, a mental health crisis. And that means that there's a huge backlog of us that need help, men and women. But there's a shortage of caregivers, shortage of therapists and counselors. So you're starting to see a lot more emphasis on peer-to-peer support. And it's something that not everybody can jump in to do it. You have to jump in when you're on your path to recovery and you're using tools and you have modalities you can show people to use. Because I will argue this, when I thought I was at my best, I wasn't ready to help others. I needed to get to a point where I could swim on my own and had tools and handouts, things that I did. Because the reality is, until you're tested over and over again and you realize that, hey, like anxiety is going to always happen. Depression is going to come and go. I am going to have some anger issues. The reality is, it's not a road and a bridge we cross over and then we're good. It's a matter of understanding that you're going to veer off, but you can check yourself. You can be like, you know what? I'm not going to explode. I'm going to take a time out. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to center. I'm going to do a mindfulness walk. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to tackle this argument. This situation can be diffused. I don't have to be at my worst with my wife.
And
we can disagree.
Teach that, right? I was going to bring that up in a little bit, but you teach like the grounding, and because you gave me that little tip.
Yep.
I remember I had a migraine that day, and that peppermint actually saved my ass. Thank you very much.
That's one of the things that was so simple for me to be able to pass off to other guys that seemed like such an ancient foreign technique was a grounding exercise. Because at my worst, I didn't know what grounding was. I didn't know what a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise was. And these are tools that I was immediately able to use. So why wouldn't I pass it off to guys or girls that are dealing with the same thing?
Yeah.
It's
like if being a vet and you're enraged, you're like, I'm not doing a fucking 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to put someone on the ground. Like it's, you have to have that ego check of,
yes,
hey, listen, you're fucked up. You need to stop. Go outside. Like my biggest thing, and she knows when I get pissed off, is walking away. I'm not walking away from you. I'm not walking away from the argument. I'm just getting the fuck away, because whatever happens from this point on is not going to be good. Verbally or whatever the hell is going to happen or not.
But how powerful would it be if you get to the point where you're like, hey, I know that if we continue, I can't even think or talk.
Yeah.
It gets so convoluted up here that I just immediately just want to go to anger because I can't talk. I can't think of the words I want to say. I started using whiteboards. This is one of the things for couples that I highly suggest. If you're like me and you're always upregulated in fight or flight, it means when you mess up or something's wrong and you and your wife start arguing, you're not at 0 to start off with. You're like a 90. So whenever you get to the point where things are moving so fast, talking becomes impossible. So now you just want to scream and deflect and break things. So don't do that. Pause. Just pause. Breathe.
PTSD, like I just heard this somewhere else, and I can't remember if it was on a podcast or a show, but people always think like, and it is and it's not, that PTSD is like, I walked over dead bodies, I've killed people, I've seen people blow up, I fucked my buddy dead, which it is. But the PTSD, in my opinion, and I'm not quoting anybody or stealing this from because I heard it and I can't remember where it is. PTSD is like being turned on 150% of the fucking time. They go, and that's where that's your norm. So like you're saying, anytime you snap out, you're already there. Like
exactly.
Any type of trauma at all. I mean, even for women, I mean, we immediately think if something traumatic happened to a woman, I mean, I hate to just go right into it, but the fact is like, just immediately like they've been raped or, you know, it doesn't even have to be, it is that, but it doesn't have to be that big. It could be you as a child, you know, getting made fun of in class, you know, from the girls because you wore a polka dot dress and everyone else was wearing a striped dress, and it can just eat you alive inside. And that exact traumatic moment for you can totally deter you in so many different ways as you get older. I could think of so many countless things as a child that had done something to me that created some type of OCD or, you know, my anxiety or any of that, like, yeah, I mean, spot on. The fact that like to be able to now sit in whatever's happening, right, and kind of like dissect it and take like, oh, okay, well, what happened to me? I never did that before I went to therapy recently and found my person. And so for you guys, like, I can't imagine, you know, how to even find your peer-to-peer, right? Your person, because you do have, you know, one guy who has, you know, had to walk over bodies. And then you have another guy who, you know, something could have happened and he was a cook in the kitchen and, you know, and
but had a bullet whiz by his face.
Or like get bullied, but you know, it's like, and then it's like, how do you, I'm asking you, Cab, like, create those bonds or find those connections for your people then?
Yeah, it's the easiest thing is to understand, and we're great ambassadors because trauma is trauma. And the beauty of this is we have special operators, people like myself, Green Beret, Marsoc Sniper, Eric. I mean, he's done it all, been there, done it all, has every t-shirt you can imagine. And same with David. But then we also have Greg and Ryan, and we're representing the entire spectrum of warrior. We're not telling anybody that their history and their trauma doesn't count, because the reality is, if it's traumatic to you, if it happened and it made you feel and you reacted a certain way and it caused trauma within you, that's all it takes. You don't have to come in and be scared to share with one of us or whoever's in the group, because we understand. It's not about just what you experience in combat, in the military. It's about what happened to you as a child, what happened to you as a civilian. Yeah. A lot of the things that we all go through in life, we try to discount and say, well, that doesn't matter. I did it for a long time. Oh, yeah, I'm a survivor of civilian trauma, horrible trauma. And because I lived through it, and because I, you know, survived, I discounted it. I'm like, well, it's not that big of a deal.
I think that's where the disconnect in one of the disconnects in the VA to vets is you finally muster up the balls or the courage or whatever to say, I got a fucking issue. I need to go talk to somebody. And you sit down in front of the person that's not even looking at you. They're facing this way and they're just fucking hand jamming shit in the computer. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, your prescription's ready at the pharmacy. I go, what fucking prescription? I told you I'm suicidal and I need to talk to somebody. What the fuck is going on here? They don't care. But everybody now, like you're talking about, with this mental health crisis, there's an opioid crisis, a mental health crisis, which are linked together. Thank you to the VA that I know I was overprescribed 100%. I was going to 3 different doctors. That's how I was dealing with it. I was taking a handful of tabs with fucking whiskey on the way down. Like, that was normal. That's just what we knew. But these groups, I hope to God and pray about, like yours and ours, just these platforms that are opening up for just people to talk. Like, the trauma, like you're saying, it's not, you know, I'm sleeping and all of a sudden I got dead bodies in my head. That's not what I'm saying. It's, you know, you're at a bar and some dude slams into you and you're like, hey man, you know, it's okay. And he starts with you. It's like, dude, just please leave me alone. Like, I don't want to do this. And it's understanding that, like, it's not the way it sounds, but like, you don't treat an elderly person the same way as you treat a 20-year-old. You don't treat an infant child the way you treat grandma. It's totally, you have to have different gloves for everybody. Vets, like if you know someone has PTSD, they're like, they don't want to talk to you. Like it's not like it needs to be described better that I'm just, instead of being here, you're here. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, because when shit pops off in the middle of public, you're going to want people like me and you right the fuck there and go, oh my God, I'm glad he's here. He's not crazy.
Well, see, and that's the one thing that I always explain to people. We think and we're told that being upregulated is why our families, our neighbors, our community need us.
Yeah.
That's wrong. I fought against that idea of like, I need to be alert like this. I need to be able to sit with my back against the wall facing the exit. I need to be that guy. And then I realized after I finally got through and understood what it really meant to be constantly upregulated, being in fight or flight, that reptile brain, I need to be ready. I need to be ready. Your body is constantly just pumping adrenaline and you're constantly tired because you're always on alert. Mm-hmm. And I would argue, and I finally realized I am just like in the military, just like when you are on patrol or you're setting up, what do you want? What is the one thing you want to do after you have security set in? Rest cycle. Why? Because if my dudes are too exhausted, they ain't no good to me. Yeah. Pull them in. Get your security established. Get rest cycle going. I need dudes to get rest. And your heaviest hitter, the dude that you need to be there when the shit gets hot, your JTAC, dude, as soon as you can, I need you rotating responsibilities with that other CCT. You guys got to get some rest. So even our most viable and most potent hitters, if we're willing to put them down to get some rest, we need to realize that we ourselves and our body, the human physiology, needs rest.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's only, well, go ahead.
Go.
I was wondering, what do you do?
Yeah,
for rest?
Flipped for you? Like,
changed? It was understanding the real importance of mindfulness in my life, being aware, because I was fighting that idea that I had to be alert and switched on. Well, that drains me. That doesn't make me an effective person. I forget everything. I'm no good to my wife. I'm no good to the people that rely on me. I'm no good as a business owner. I'm no good as a person if I'm constantly switched on, constantly just thinking I have to juggle everything. No.
Right. So what do you do to find rest on yourself?
Meditate. My biggest thing is meditation, understanding that my mental health is number one. My mental health is a balancing act, a juggling act, if you will, of different modalities. I'm a huge advocate for understanding your medication. They just want to give you medication and just say, oh, take it. It lasted about 3 or 4 times before I realized you're playing an experiment.
Oh, you're a monkey.
I need to be educated. And I can't just rely on, and it's funny, I can't just rely on Googling it. I have to go to places, I have to go to people and ask and talk to doctors and get, white papers. And I'm telling you, get that methodical with your research on your medication, because all it takes is that one medication that they had me on for nightmares was actually counterintuitive. It was mini press. The first time they had me on mini press was counterintuitive to and kind of negating and working against other medications. Never knew that. Mm-hmm. So then I realized, okay, medication's good, but as long as I know what I'm taking, it's going to counteract with everything. I'm on, testosterone therapy, but at first it didn't tell me that, hey, if you're trying to have kids, this is also something you have to be aware of. You have to understand the impact this will have on you and your body, and there's consequences. Yeah, there's no consequences for mindfulness. There's no consequences to being able to downregulate and breathe. I didn't know that I was breathing wrong. I didn't know that you can't tell me there's a wrong way to breathe. Yeah, there is. I was a mouth breather. I'm somebody that was diagnosed,
No,
It's funny you say that about like the medication and shit. So this will probably fuck me in the future, but hopefully everything does well and I don't have to really care about the
Don't hope and pray. Take action.
That's not hoping and praying.
The reason I'm saying this is that, like service connected guys, right? You got guys that are 10%, 100%, 50, 60, everywhere in between. My conditions that I'm disabled for right, are just getting fucking way worse. My body's breaking. Every time I go to work out, I throw my back out. I literally have to go to the VA to get shots. I've had a migraine for 5 fucking days. Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. You just can't figure it out. No, there's something wrong. You don't want to invest the time and the resources and the effort to figure it out. Right. So the reason I say this is I had, actually this morning, about 4 hours ago, I had comp and disability appointment to talk to them about upping my percentage. And the guy, he brings up PTSD. And we're talking. I said, yeah, I have PTSD. I said, no medication is going to treat that. It just minorly suppresses it depending on when it works. That I told him, I said, listen, the medication I've been on, I'm off of all of them. I said, I feel great. I have no heartburn. I'm not sick in the morning. One medication I found out, like you, was not supposed to be prescribed to people with ADD. Well, I was on it for 4 years, bro. I couldn't sleep at night. It was horrible.
Exactly.
And I told the guy, I said, I finally feel good for like the last couple of weeks. It's nice. Bro, he literally pulls his mask down, turns to me, because of course, you know, I on the fucking computer, turns to me and goes, just make sure when you come to your comp appointment, you play the part.
Oh, wow.
Well, I swear to God, if I go disappearing from this fucking podcast, this is why. I said, so I'm not allowed to be happy for one day? I said, I still have PTSD, but why can't I be happy? So I need to come in here fucking sad, miserable, and crying for them to believe me? He said they actually have the right, if I come in there in a good mood, to lower my fucking rating. How fucked is that? That's fucking crazy. That's crazy.
I think we're all just getting to that point, though, that we're understanding that, you know, our doctors, our pharmacists, even like all of it, it's just a sales consultant. And
you have to really fight. And it sucks. It sucks for a lot of our veterans. They can't choose and pick and choose the best doctors. And I have been blessed. Absolutely blessed. I have found not only compassionate professionals that really care and are invested in my health, but individuals that were in my shoes, individuals that have seen it firsthand, individuals that are married, literally married into this regiment, that are now practicing on the outside. And that's what it takes. Compassion, somebody that cares, nurturing, wanting to see because everything that I've learned about the system and the awful side of the system, like the bad parts of it, are from providers.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Providers are willing to be honest and open and say, I care about you. I want the best for you. This is what I'm recommending because by law, this is what I have to do. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, let's figure out a way to get you this care that you need. And I am not, I'm not a anti-medication, anti-anything, but I am a passionate advocate for all your modalities. You have to understand what works. SSRIs are some of the longest and tested medications out there, but even I know I don't want to be on them for the rest of my life. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to cold turkey cut them off, because that's creating something my body used to naturally produce at a normal or a little bit less than normal levels. But now I'm dependent on them. So that means that when I decide that I'm going to come off of them, it will be with compassionate care from a doctor I trust to help me scale back. Because I've seen the data. You can look up the data. Anytime you quit something cold turkey, depending on what it is, it could be very horrible for you. So I never advocate that anybody cold turkey quits anything. So understand. Go ahead.
And just because I have a question with that. So, I mean, I decided to just do a cold turkey. I was on Prestige. It was during the time that, you know, the kids, everything was just one thing after another. We were in a hospital for a month for one child, then the other. It was just, and so it was like tears right away. And so then recently I stopped because, you know, my prescription was up and whatever. And I started taking mushrooms. So I feel as
psilocybin is amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
I just read an article that it might be safer.
So with that, it's like I decided to be like a test subject on myself, I guess, because at this point, I understand myself, right? I've learned some things. I've dissected myself mentally, physically, what I need soulfully, all of it. The point, I just don't care about anything else other than feeling whole, right?
Yeah. And you said it right there. You did the groundwork. You understood. There's a lot of people that don't do it. There's a lot of people that are like, I'm just fucking, I'm done with it. And it's like, fuck, dude, that's a lot of chemistry. There's a lot of things that you've been taking this medication for 7, 8, 10 fucking years.
Right.
Don't just quit cold turkey. Know the research. Know how your body's going to react. I know for a fact I don't want to do the rest of my life with SSRIs. I don't. But I am aware that it's scary if I just stop one day and just like, do that, all this is already fucked.
Right. And I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, me and you, we did talk about this at, the MIC conference. And I definitely think people do need to hear that,
yes.
I mean, me and Derek have done ketamine, we smoked weed. I enjoy shrooms. But unless you get that groundwork done, that's when I consider all of this, that you're in that recreational phase of it. And that is totally okay. And that is totally fun. And I definitely condone it more than alcohol, honestly, in my eyes. But in order to get those healing and healthy effects from, these medicinal plants, from even your medication that you're taking from the doctor, if that groundwork isn't done, you're not going to get very far. You're just going to keep masking. You're just going to keep covering it up. You're going to keep sliding it under the rug instead of actually, healing yourself and gaining those healing properties, because these plants do have that effect. It's just the fact that you have to know yourself. And that's why people have, bad trips or whatever you want to call them, or they eat too many brownies and, that was horrible. It's because it gets you in your head.
They weren't ready for it.
And if you're not ready for it in your head, then you're not ready for it, to take you to those next levels. Because after it gets to that healing, it gets to that, next level understanding, opening different segues to your brain. And so with you, I mean, I know you said you've never even smoked cannabis before, have you?
No. That's and the thing that's amazing about what I'm looking forward into doing is I'm doing so much studying and understanding of every modality that's out there. Because what works for me may not work for somebody down the road. It might not work for the other person. I want people to be educated. I want people to be able to read Ram Dass and understand the gateway and the importance of setting and state. If you're going to take that voyage and take that big leap into psilocybin, understand it is a medicine. Understand where it comes from. Understand the history of it. There's a reason why you go to specific places to do ayahuasca. There's a reason why you go to specific places to do ketamine treatment for either intensive pain or for PTSD. Right. These tools, these medicines are sacred. I don't see, and first of all, alcohol is horrible. Alcohol is fucking garbage. There's no medicinal purpose to alcohol. And I don't think that I ever want to get to the point of I am a huge advocate for everything that's out there that's proven to work. And a lot of those modalities are labeled bad by the government. It's the truth.
When now nature is good and now, they know, we know. And
I don't want to go on a tangent, but and if you look at the way LSD, psilocybin, marijuana, the way it's been vilified, who were the first people to really start working on LSD? Because you have people in the so-called Harvard Psychedelics Club that were trying to expand consciousness and understand the effects of it, and they're labeled as the first bad people. No. At the same time, these, the same people were working in Harvard to understand the ability to expand your understanding under psilocybin and LSD. You have the CIA doing the same thing, but for nefarious reasons. And to me, we have to be able to step back and not see them so much as party fun time drugs, but real tools, real medicines to help heal victims of trauma. Same with MDMA. The studies and the information's out there. But we've turned it, because we banned it, because we outlaw it, They've become these prolific party drugs. They become these great things to escape. Look, I love escaping. I love the idea of being able to sit back and just fucking relax. But you know what I'd rather do? Be able to calm down after a bad day.
Yeah.
Or have a reaction to anxiety that I can't calm down from. It just happened the other day. I don't want it to stay and linger. I know I can stay and linger in it and understand it and be able to, hey, this will pass, breathe through it. But if I can legally sit at home and say, you know what? I'm going to smoke marijuana. Not to just fucking fuck around and blow my day and not do anything, but to reset and be able to say, okay, I'm cool. I'm good now. Awesome. But we don't offer that as a modality. We don't offer that as a tool. We offer, like nowadays, there's a huge loophole, but a giant step, and the things that you have to do in order to get THC, in order to get just minor, just relief from pain,
just this
from
little
something that's natural.
oil, literally from a plant. It's like it's nuts. But it's, you know, that's again, like, we know that's where we come in. I've got no problem telling people, like, listen, I've got off of pills. I've been hooked on them. I used to drink. I used to smoke cigarettes, which nobody ever talks about smoking cigarettes.
Oh,
Cannabis will help you stop smoking cigarettes. So will ketamine, actually, but ketamine's a whole different story. And I know, I think it's in Texas that they put up a law to put like the only dispensary in Texas in the VA. This could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I heard from a couple of people at the MIC conference that there's some bill that's going up to put like vet only, obviously, dispensary in the VA. But like it sucks because like these providers, like you're talking about, they know cannabis, they know ketamine, they know psilocybin. You're stupid if they think they don't, and they can't recommend it to you, even though they know it may help you, because this is what they have to tell you. No, you have to. Or
worse, they see the money. Like, for example, ketamine treatments now become very popular. There's two, and I know there's a lot more experts out there, but from my understanding, there's two treatment options available for ketamine right now. For chronic pain that you just cannot treat with anything else, and for trauma, PTSD. Both have very different protocols. But because it's a hot item and people in certain military organizations think that it's a magic cure-all for PTSD and a fast button to get guys right back into the abusive world that is the military and its higher operational echelons, they see it as a magic weapon. They see it as a magic wand. So now you're seeing people get treated with ketamine under the protocol for chronic pain, but being told it's for your PTSD, which they don't have psychiatric treatment available at the same time. They don't have a psychologist there administering and talking through and guiding them through the protocol. No, it's, yeah, here's ketamine, you're good. But here's the thing. In certain demographics, ketamine has been abused. Ketamine has been a drug of choice for numerous individuals. Why? Because it's readily available. It's something that guys get issued to them when we deploy down into combat, because it's a tool. It's a medicine you can use in trauma. When somebody gets hit, you can give them ketamine. But at the same time, if someone has a previous history of drug addiction and they know they have ketamine readily available, guess what?
Fucked.
They're going to use ketamine downrange, and we've seen it. It's
no shit.
Widely known around our demographic that ketamine is a drug that people abuse.
I'm not saying
so. Yeah. So now we have the potential for, hey, I'm suffering from PTSD. I don't want to leave the team. I want to stay on. Oh, cool, man. We got this new treatment, ketamine. Well, now you're making it okay. You make it seem like just taking ketamine is going to get rid of PTSD. Right. No. It's not the same. Going in a K-hole with your buddy on the weekend, it's not the same thing as taking ketamine to deal with trauma. Yeah. And as long as we're viewing ketamine as a magic wand, we have this Pandora's box that may open up. And that's the only concern that I see. But I think it's a wonderful treatment when it's used in the right way and the patient understands that there is, it's not a magic bullet. If you don't have the therapy, if you're not doing the therapy work, if you're not going in and doing the actual work with DBT and CBT, with cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectical behavioral therapy, you're not going to get the most bang for your buck.
Right.
Because if it's 1 to 2 weeks, then you're kind of feeling the effects wear off. Whereas if you do the therapy and you get vulnerable and you talk and you share and you open up all those wounds and you actually face them, now you're in a place where stellate ganglion blocks will work. Now you're in a place where, wow, like I'm starting to de-escalate. I'm starting to feel like I'm really back at a zero. Because that's what it was for me. I was bullshitting. I was lying. I wasn't going to therapy and offering everything that I was really going with. I'm only going to give you this much trauma. I'm only going to talk about this. And that only hurt me. That only hurt me and prolonged my treatment. And then I had to go in that downward spiral. I had to hit rock bottom. I had to get to that point where nobody wants to talk about it. We're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take my life. And then I get to a treatment center.
I wonder why he killed himself.
Yeah. Then you get to a treatment center and you have no way to run. Then you really have to tell the truth. And that's when the healing begins. When I finally was able to open up and say, you know what? This is everything. Here's everything I'm holding on to. Let's fucking dissect it. Because I didn't want to go through that anymore. I finally surrendered and said, you know what? I trust you. You're here because you want to help me. I'm here because I want to get better, because I don't want to leave my wife anymore. I don't want to prioritize anything else above my health right now. This is it. This is my one shot. I don't want to do this again.
Yeah, it's funny, like you say that. So we did ketamine under doctor supervision probably, I don't know, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, complete K-hole. Like, they played a TV. I was swimming with fucking turtles for like an hour and a half. There's lights on the ceiling. Like, unless you've done it, it's very hard to explain. But like, that mental state to even just go there took me a long time to even say, okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to run into with this. I don't know if I'm going to be talking to Jesus. I don't know if I'm going to be sleeping. I don't know.
It was a very vulnerable day for you, like moment for you. I
Yeah.
think.
I walked in there. I'm like, okay, this might be Pandora's box. Like, you're saying something's coming out.
Right.
But the experience in the moment was, and I'm not contradicting anything you're saying, you'll see what I mean. But like, in the moment, that experience was fucking phenomenal. Because like, my brain, it doesn't stop. It's the first time my brain ever shut off. And when I mean shut off, I didn't hear, care, think, nothing, dude. And I remember, that feeling of an anxiety attack coming here, like, oh my God, I'm going to pass out. I'm going to pass out while I'm in a K-hole. Are you fucking kidding me? And I'm going, okay, here we go. And all of a sudden, that feeling wasn't there. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I remember telling myself, I'm like, I can finally just not think. And I just sat there and just, went through La La Land. But the doctor comes in every 10 minutes. Checks out, make sure you're okay. I mean, I don't remember coming in half the time, but they come in and they keep eye on you to make sure that everything's good. If something's wrong, they're right there. And then that therapy, like you're saying, it's supposed to be like 2 weeks, every 2 days, where they kind of just microdose you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like within a week or the next day for a week, I felt clear. I felt great, but I didn't go back because of the cost of it. And you can feel it come right back. But like you're saying, if it's like assisted where you're like, hey, there's a therapist in here and like, what the fuck is going on right now? That could be very beneficial. Ketamine's legal. Yeah. There's clinics in Las Vegas that you can.
Yeah, we got some over here too, and and a lot of them. Once you like, if you're inquisitive, you want to find out more, and you click on there, and it'll say right there, like, hey, we will take you. We'll do everything we can, but we need to see that you've gone to see psychologists, therapists, that they recommend it, because you don't know what's going to happen. If you look at the studies, there's a lot of people that have never had that disassociative experience. And when they do a lot of the controls, a lot of people were like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like this associative state. Like, that's a lot for people. And if you don't know what you're getting yourself into, it can be really, really bad. That's a prime example why we all have to be able. No, you're good. That's a prime example of why you want to make sure you take care of yourself and put yourself first. Because if you don't put yourself first, how can you put your family ahead when you need to? This is the dilemma that we all have. I want to get better, but I'm going to do it for my wife. No. You got to do it for you. You got to be able to look yourself in the mirror. I wasn't able to do that for a long time.
Right.
If I look myself in the mirror, is real quick shave, wash, I hated myself. I hated myself for everything that I'd been through. I hated myself for the things in my past. I didn't like who I saw. I wanted to just hurry up and go.
Yeah.
And then the doctor makes you do those drills. Like, no, there's nothing wrong with you. Look in the mirror. Look at you. Understand that you are mind, body, spirit. That's all you have. It's you.
Yeah.
In order for you to be the best version of yourself, you got to put yourself first, because your family depends on it. Your kids, everybody. And I know it's a very, very confusing time. Everybody has their own ideas on being a parent and having kids. But I feel that one of the greatest callings in life is to be able to have a child, have your own kid, be able to give them everything you never had.
And it's the best thing it's ever had. Is it the most stressful I've ever been? Yeah, absolutely. But again, I mean, wouldn't change it for the world. It's just, we have our whole long story with them. But it's like you're saying, if I was the pill-head and alcoholic I was years ago and had kids, I would have been the shittiest father in the world completely. I could be there, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
Now that I've stepped back, done my research on medication, gone through the 10 years of the monkey fuck games with that, I don't want to be on it anymore. So cannabis as needed to help me, and CBD is actually where I got started. That's federally legal, by the way. So everybody that wants to kind of dabble in this, try CBD. You're not going to get high. You might get extremely tired, which is great. But it gives you all of the medicinal benefits without the high of it. But you're going to see THC and weed and cannabis be legal. They don't have a choice. It's coming. And the day that it's in the VAs will be because it's going to.
I am very hopeful. I cannot wait, because I know our veterans and even our active duty service members. I was very ignorant of the addiction rate within our service. I didn't.
Popping pills in formation. Literally.
That's one of the things. Like I'm having to talk to people about, hey, addiction is addiction. Yeah. Abusing drugs is abusing drugs. You shouldn't look at your medication and say, well, I'm not addicted to it anymore, but I'm still going to take it. I'm like, no, brother. Like, you're abusing your medication. You need to talk to your doctor to switch from that medication to something else, because you're addicted to it. Mm-hmm. It has become an addiction. It was okay for you at one point. It was just prescribed to you. Now you're abusing your drugs. Go see your doctor. Go in and seek help. Yeah. And it's a hard thing.
It's exactly that. I had a bottle of Lortabs or whatever at the time. I was never privy to pills, really. I would take a couple, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the bottle's going quick. I'm calling for refills. I'm not processing this in my brain. And then you go back to that doctor and tell him, hey, doc, I'm out. And you refill, like, oh, I can't give it anymore. You're hooked at this point. You're hooked. And then I go, okay, well, I'm going to go to a different doctor. I was going to 3 doctors at one time, all over the place, and getting scripts. And then it got to the point where the lady gave me an expired script on accident. I went to Wegmans. They thought I was trying to, fill a stolen script. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing right now? Like, I'm a drug addict. This is insane. I was buying them from people. Dude, literally, like I was saying, I remember one time I had a boot of mine get his teeth pulled. I found out he had fucking tabs or morphine or whatever on him. Oh, bro, I was hammering him in formation. It is what it is. Like, it's just, it's shitty. Like, and I understand why they don't want you using cannabis while you're on active duty. I get it, because you're going to understand the effects of it and how good it is, but you're not going to be that triple type A animal killer that they want you to be. But they should have something where if you enter, you said, hey, I'm got a fucking problem. I need help here. Okay, you're on a 2-week automatic, whatever they want to call it. You use cannabis for the first 2 days and talk about it for the rest, and then you go back in the field or something. There's got to be something.
I mean, you look at countries like Canada, and obviously our neighbors to the north have their own issues and their own things that we can pick apart. But the one thing I did see that made sense to me is they allow marijuana use for their service members.
I know that. Wow.
Yeah.
I've actually met one of them. That kind of makes sense, but I'm from New York, so we used to train with guys up in Canada, dude.
Yeah.
Some of the shit they did, oh my God. I don't even want to say that here because I don't want to.
But the thing that I appreciate, and I look at it and it makes sense, is it's the same regulations we have against alcohol in the military. Hey, can't do it before with 48 hours of doing friggin' like free fall or dive or anything like that. Yeah. That makes sense to me. What doesn't make sense to me is how we make it culturally available. We have such a love affair with alcohol. We make it known that it's a rite of passage. There's a lot of things you do on a team that it's like, hey man, pass the jack around, like, or pass the freaking pass whatever alcohol you want. Like, hey, we're celebrating. We had a rough day, rough train up. Let's all drink.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I get it. That's the thing that's been associated with being able to relax and cool back and sit back. But you realize, you normalize it amongst your troops that relaxation means drinking, that celebration means drinking, that having a rough day culminates with drinking. You have no right to get mad at them or persecute them or chapter them when they go home after a stressful deployment and all they have to cope with is alcohol and they get a DUI. No, I'm sorry. You bought that ticket. You punched it. You bought it. You take care of the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate it because a lot of guys are like, well, I don't have a problem with drinking. Why are you banning it? No, I'm not. I'm not trying to be the buzzkill and ruin your party. But I am saying is there was a time where I thought alcohol was what made me a cool guy and a cool man and a cool Green Beret. No, it's not. We don't need it. There's absolutely no benefit to it. There's absolutely nothing that you can say that maximizes your performance at work. I get it. You're having a celebration at home. Cool. Drink a little bit if you like. But you don't have to go drink out the bar. You don't have to make it part of your social interaction. It's not that great.
For drinking. I don't know. You ever been to a Marine Corps ball?
Oh, bro, trust me. It was every Friday and Saturday, it was here at the local bars. It was like, hey, what are we doing? We're drinking. We're going to the beach. We're going to drink. We're going, I can name all the bars that we used to go to. But when I look back on it, it's like, man, how much money, how much weight, how many embarrassing friggin' next mornings did I have when I woke up and like didn't know where the heck, I was. And it's like, dude, I didn't have, thankfully, when I was at my worst, I realized that alcohol could be a very comforting thing, and I didn't use it. That's not the same story for a lot of my friends. That's not the same story for a lot of the guys that I see that are still being destroyed by it. Yeah. Guys that fail to see that, hey, you're on your fourth marriage. Your fourth marriage, and the main thing that you can see out of all these relationships is your relationship with alcohol. Stop. No. It's just drinking. Everybody drinks.
Yeah, that's what's drilled in our head, like you're saying. It's just the normal. I think they're going to have to. This kind of correlates, though. I mean, again, cannabis is going to be legal whether they like it or not. It's happening in the very near future. That the drinking, I think they pushed the pills, they pushed the drink, or not pushed it. That was it. They didn't care because there was always people that joined the military, bro. Now, nobody's signing up. They have issues recruiting people.
Oh yeah,
for you. You better change that shit. Or do you think my kids want to join the Marine Corps after they fucking see me? I wouldn't want them to. I wouldn't join as my dad. Fuck
brother,
no.
spot on. That's something I talk about all the time, and that not only goes to the way they treat us after, but it goes into the way of how they treat us as we're transitioning. Mm-hmm. We don't have a actual transition program that works.
No, it's sit on base 2 weeks. Don't kill yourself. Drink every single fucking day. Go broke at the PX and get on the plane back to your family.
No.
That's exactly what it is.
There's no exit interview where you sit down with your company commander, group commander, and talk about, hey, why did you choose not to re-enlist? Yeah. Well, hey, sir, thank you for asking that. Let's have a discussion on this. Yeah. This is why X, Y, and Z, family, stress, not being able to promote, and all these deployments, all this stuff. It doesn't have to be this dramatic incident or issue of violence and being angry at a commander. It can be a very adult thing. The corporate world, civilians do it. They have an exit interview. We don't.
Yeah,
but we don't want to have, because they don't want to hear the truth of why you're choosing to leave, of why the years of pain and torment are finally like just bearing down on you, and something's got to give.
When I got out of our unit, it's hilarious you say that. I just told the story the other day. When we got out, I deployed with my unit like right in the beginning, right? We were a reserve unit. So the first 2 years of my contract, pretty much active duty, boot camp, SOI, deployment, boom. Came back for like 4 years, reserves. We did our training, went all over the place, turned down one deployment, which I won't talk about, and carried on. But like, of course, the last week, and we had a solid group of guys that deployed. I'm talking like 100 fucking dudes that were still in together. We were super close. We got a new first sergeant like the last week of the company. See where this is going.
Oh yeah.
Interview, right? Everybody signs my sheets. I go, holy shit, I'm fucking out of this place. Sit down with a new first sergeant in an office about this big. I got this eagle tattoo on my arm at the time because I was starting my sleeve. He literally stands up and he goes, "What's with that fucking tattoo?" I go, "It's a tattoo, first. So what's the problem? You're signing my exit form." He literally looks at me and goes, "I'm going to have to fucking NJP an Afghan vet sergeant on the last day of his checkout." I go, "Ruin my life. Fucking go for it." Dude, I snap. He looks at me like this. He goes, "Semper Fi." I'm like, "Fuck you, bro." I walked out. That was the last image I had of the Marine Corps. This dude threatening to NJP me when I had a perfect fucking record, no problems, high scores, got out as a sergeant, everything was good, because of my fucking tattoo. I said, "I'm done with these monkey fuck games. That's why I'm not re-enlisting." That's why everybody in that table in that office said, "Hey, we need you to stay." And I said, "Fuck you, I'm out. I'm not playing these monkey games. I'm fucking done." Oh, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and then there's a line of people out the door. And I told him what happened. I said, just tell them to fuck off. He'll be fine. But it's like you're scared into that shit. Like, why?
Yeah. Yeah, it ruins right now in this digital age, the greatest recruitment tool that you have are your veterans. But when you allow them to leave and in such a traumatic exit with such a horrible last imprinting image, what do you think they're going to give that young kid that reaches out to them? Because I'll tell you right now, kids nowadays or young people that want to serve, the first thing that they're doing is reaching out to all these influencers or people online that used to serve. Yeah. Hey, what's the best way for me to become a Green Beret? Oh, how do I pass this? How do I get in this contract? Yeah. And what do you think those guys are going to say? I'll tell you right now. It's like, hey, do you want to have a family? What are your inspirations in life? Mm-hmm. Do X, Y, and Z. Take care of yourself. Really think about this. Really be committed to you.
Your life
At the end of the day, right now, this place is a meat grinder. Mm-hmm. Like, it's whether you like it or not. The way we treat our current service members and our veterans is more important than whatever TV advertisement you're going to run.
It's a little bit like, something I can describe it and tell me if I'm wrong, is like, you used to jump, right? I could jump personally, but I never jumped in the military. I was just a grunt. It's like the plane's like, your contract. You're like, "Oh my God, I'm done." You finally jump, you're floating, like, "Wow, this is going to look great." And they go, "See ya, bitch." And they just cut it and you fucking just
cut your static line.
It's like, okay, here, well, what the fuck happened? Like, dude, it's crazy, but like, we need transition groups. Like, when is yours? Thursday, right?
Yeah, every Thursday night from 7 p.m. Central Standard Time to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, we do our peer-to-peer support group. Okay,
and I'll put all that in the notes up here. And then you guys are on Instagram at Security Halt Podcast, right?
Security Halt. I'm horrible. Yeah, I am horrible at my own handles. TBI has not been kind to me, but yeah, I think it's Security Halt Podcast. You won't forget our logo. It's very basic. Yeah.
We'll follow them. But I'm going to start to try to hop on these groups on Thursday, obviously with the kids in the background. But
dude,
I'll make sure.
Just listening,
dude, and it's the beauty of it is you're able to hear other people describe how they slayed and destroyed the myth. Like the one I really want to get out there for people, guys and girls, because men and women are horrible about this. Because if you endure trauma and you've been a victim of horrible circumstances, you're always on high alert. I can't be around men like this. I can't be around. I'm not going to be a victim again. I'm going to be on guard. And for guys, it's no, fuck that. Last time I wasn't on alert, we got blown up. I got shot or something horrible happened. Let go of that. It seems hard. It seems counterintuitive. Let go of that. Take active steps to understand that you are in control of your life. You are in control of your body. When I first gave up that idea and just let go of the idea that I had to be always switched on, I was praying. I said, "God, please, 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 let me be that man of action. Let me make sure I always have that ability to turn on," because I have responded to car accidents. I know that feeling of being able to be that guy you can count on. I didn't want to lose that.
You guys are so the same person.
I didn't want to lose that. And I see that I see that as value to my wife, my future kids. I want to be that protector. But I realized the more I got into mindfulness, the more I had to listen to that letting go, being able to let go. And finally cultivated that idea of like, When I'm ready, I'll be ready. When it happens, I'll be ready. I know what I've been through. I know the person I am. I know the caliber of man I am. I know when the situation comes, I'll be ready. And months down the road, we have a podcast about it, is I'm walking my dogs and my wife, having a great time, and I see one of my neighbors walking, an older gentleman. He's got he's below the knee amputee, and I see two off the leash pit bulls running, and instantly I realized they're going to hit Ted. They're going to hit him right now. And I handed my wife the leash to our dogs, and there I am, bolting down towards this gentleman that's now being mauled by two dogs, and get him off, get him up, be able to assess his injuries, walk him to his house. And it wasn't like a disassociation where instantly I'm out of it. No, I was in control of myself, and I knew the danger that I was going into, and I knew what I was seeing. But no time did I lose control of who I was, and no time did I have to come back down or go into a flashback, go into a scenario of what the worst. Oh my God. Calm, cool, collective.
See how that fucking works, dude?
Everything I needed to do, got my man up, took care of him, like walked into his house. Every single thing that you feel that you're going to lose, you're not. It's going to multiply. You're going to be a better person. You're going to be a better team member to your family when it comes to protection, because you're not constantly, you're prepared.
Yeah.
You're an intuitive warrior. You're sitting there, and when shit happens, when things and you need to react, you will. Guarantee you will. And now it's not a place of like, oh, I need to make sure I have this, this, and this, because it's funny. I love seeing the Instagram accounts of the guys like, hey, number one thing to be prepared to carry 15 guns in this bag. And it's like, man, cool, man. Awesome. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have the one pistol I need here. If something happens, I'm going for it. But my family doesn't need me to be that weird dude with 5'11" tactical pants with 15 knives and like 3 pistols on me. Like, yeah, fucking start this shit. Let's go.
The Texas unit that ripped with us was that this kid had ninja stars. I looked at him and I said, bro, you're a saw gunner? I said, you should probably strip everything you need now. You're going to die. Like, no, I'm good. Ninja stars. And then a knife on his bicep. I'm like, bro, this is Vietnam. This is Afghanistan. Your enemy's here, about 500 yards from us. Oh,
because let's face it, for a vast majority of us, the real thing that you're going to react to is that car accident.
Dude, it's
that older gentleman that has a heart attack. That couple that, they have a baby and something's wrong with the kid. Like, dude, these are real world situations that you are of value to your community.
Yeah.
And people are going to come up to you, and they're going to be more, they're going to see you as somebody they can reach out to.
Yeah.
If you're not that guy that's constantly giving out that vibe, that energy of like, fuck the world, grunt style. No, dude.
Yeah.
Be calm, collected, be happy.
I love you.
Be ready.
You say that too, like first responders and shit. Like, I mean, dude, you want to talk about PTSD?
Same boat as us. There are brothers and sisters in arms, just because, and a lot of them because they have that passion to continue serving. They have that passion to continue to help. But
people like go home and process it. It's like you had I had a car accident the night before we go to Disney World with the kids. Of course, I leave work. Long story short, cars flipped over and people are just driving by. I'm going, am I fucking seeing shit?
Yep.
I pull over. Again, long story, get to the end of it. The guy is upside down. His leg is completely amputated. His leg is pulled the skin down. The bone is this way, and his foot's gone. His seatbelt's across his throat. Purple is my fucking coffee mug in front of me, and I'm in there kicking his windshield out, cut the tip of my finger off. Everybody's just standing there. I'm like, fucking get out of my way, move. And then I just went home. Sorry, I went to the hospital to get my finger glued shut, pulled glass out of me, and I hop on a plane to Disney World. Do you think I slept at all for like those first 3 days, dude? Just reprocessing that shit in my brain. Like, it's good though. Like, you're always gonna be that guy. Like, if there's a school shooting or store shooting, if you don't think I'm the first motherfucker up there, you're on drugs. But, like, you got to realize that still doing that is gonna fuck you up again. And you got to realize
it is.
Like,
and that's why it's even more important to process the trauma we already have, because it's like a bucket. It's the same analogy that every doctor always uses. It's like, your bucket's overfilling with everything you went through in Iraq, Afghanistan, childhood. There's no room for new trauma. There's no room for you to process, and everything's just going to be that raw nerve in your head. Work through some of that trauma. Get some of that stuff out of there. It's a constant work. You just get some of that so that when you do react to the next thing, it's like, okay, I am glad I'm able to help this gentleman. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody wants to act. I'm going to be here. I'm going to do my thing. Let's get into the hospital. Let me call my wife. Let her know what's going on. Let her know that I'm coming home and I'm a little bit of a raw nerve.
Everything's okay, but I'm fucking bleeding, and you got to get to the hospital. She's like, what are you talking about? You know,
but how important, how great it is to be able to sit down and be like, hey.
You there?
Oh, can you see me?
Oh, you're good.
Still there? Yeah. But, being able to sit down with your wife and be able to say, like, hey, like, you probably don't have any frame of reference, so I don't want to go into the gory details, but I just went through some really hard stuff. A guy's alive. I did. I'm amped. I'm happy. I'm a little messed up, but I did something good. But it's really shocking. We're gonna still go to Disney, but I'm gonna need to chill out as soon as we get there. It's like, oh, all right, cool, yeah. And I love you. Sorry, it's gonna be really weird for the next couple days. I wasn't able to do that type of stuff before. It was just if I would react it to something, it would just be trauma and locked in my head and be like, yep.
Yeah,
replay it. Yes. Yeah, replay it. Yeah, fuck yeah, replay it. And it's like, no, dude, don't replay that shit.
It's crazy.
I mean, I wanted to just jump in between you two and just say that I would love to have you back on, Cab, because we want to have your wife on too or something. I just really love the fact that, you've put in the groundwork and now it's like you want to do whatever you can to help others and to allow others to feel what you're feeling. And that's exactly, what we're trying to do. And I mean, I feel like we speak a lot of the same languages. So thank you so much for being on our show. And
thank you guys.
I'm like looking at the time and I'm like, I could go on and talk. I was not going to stop. And then I'm like, okay, well, we need to take a handle on this.
Hey, you guys got a full life, man. We're good. We'll do it again.
But yeah, no, I mean, I would love to dive in. I would love to dive into, the fact of being a spouse of someone who's been in the military and, just dealing, with our, and then just understanding and so on. So, I hope everybody enjoys the show, and I know they will because, just talking to you it's very inspiring to me. So thank you so much. And anything else you want to
get back as soon as we can, but again,
please.
Podcast.
Yep.
I think the website securityhaltpodcast.com, right?
That's right. And our tagline is, we don't get through this by ourselves. We get through this together.
Another really funny tagline, which I'll end with here. Hang on. This is
please hold.
Dudes on a mission to bring you great content and mental health awareness.
Love it.
Nope.
Perfect.
Nope.
But yeah, we'll be chatting very soon, and thank you again for everything.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.